Really gonna rise to some good, some food in you. Step 3, you grow hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gonna rise to the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, you grow hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Well, I don't give a shit. Because if people don't like me because of the way I talk or think, that's their business. See what I'm saying? That's their business. Like, it's your business. I ain't mad at you if you don't like me. I don't give a fuck. Like, you know, it's your business. It's not my business. The question is why do people care? Well, I'll tell you why. Because they need your validation. They want you to like me because they don't like themselves. So they're looking for everybody else to validate their value. Am I cool? Am I good? You like me?
Did I make it?
Am I right? Huh? You know, I don't do that.
It's 3 places that you can stay for absolutely free. 3 of them. You ain't got to pay a doggone thing. Hear me. Understand that you can stay out my face for free. You can stay out my business for free. And you can stay out my way for free. Those things won't cost you a doggone thing. 3 places you can stay for absolutely free. Thank you.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
good evening, all. I don't know if I'm having technical issues or not. I'm trying to airdrop something to myself, and I don't know if it's causing lag in the system. Quite frankly, it probably is. I'm on cheap internet from a hotel. If it gets too bad, let me know, and I'll change over to the hotspot. It looks like it's decent. I don't know what got all 4 bars, but some days I see with all 4 bars, actually 5 bars. Coffee fun. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a long day. If you guys don't know, I've been up since 4:30. Olivia's been up since 5:30, and this morning, and this is Pacific time. So, Eastern time, I think I was up like around 7:30 Eastern time. And my sleep is already off because just for me being 3 hours away from home, it's a shock to the body. I can tell you that. So you wake up at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning because at home it's 7:30. I mean, I don't sleep in that late typically. So good evening, everybody. I'm, as you can imagine, pretty tired. We're here. It was a pretty sad day today, as you can imagine. There was another person stabbed in Idaho, police searching for suspect after man stabbed at Pocatello apartment complex, Idaho State Journal. I have not seen that come through yet. I haven't really heard that. Not every stabbing is going to be connected to this, and we're going over an update from a clarification update from Moscow police, but knife is knife. It makes us very, very concerned. I'm interested in hearing that. And you said it in Ohio State Police. I don't know where the Pocatello apartment complex is or the location that this incident happened. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. So keep us posted on that. Who is that from? Clara, if I'm saying your name correctly. I hope I didn't butcher it. But guys, just bear with me. If the internet is pretty messy, I do apologize about that. We'll just monitor it for the airdrop's almost done. We'll see if it improves after that. If not, then I'll switch over. Wake up, it's midnight. Oh, crap. It is midnight. It's midnight on the East Coast. No wonder I'm so blessed tired. My word. Do I see Justice for All? Did I see Justice for All in here? Oh, there he is. Hey. Actually, I'm uploading an interview. I didn't, this is raw. This is, I did an interview with Court TV after when we were getting ready to leave. I was up on that stage for quite a little bit. I talked to everybody. There's no point in rushing out of those places like that. I've learned a long time ago that, the parking lot's jammed up. We got to sit there and meet some people. And just chat with some other news media organizations. So it was really sad, but I think it was crazy because when we were out there, like they have, like there's, if you go watching live, we were way in the back, and everything was up forward. They had the stage further, the media stage further back than they needed to, but I think they were anticipating, a lot of people. There was a lot of people there. Don't get me wrong. There were a lot of people there, but I don't think that I think they were anticipating more or wanted to make sure there was more, because that went up probably, I don't know, 10 yards closer. But again, if it was 10 yards closer, then we'd have people wrapped around. And so, but it was beautiful. It was really nice. The video just uploaded. So let me know if my video improves, my quality improves. If it doesn't, figure it out. But it was just sad. But when you looked, like when Kayley's dad was up there, he really not any, and I loved all this, the parents saying, my heart broke for each of them. I couldn't believe. I mean, they were so courageous for there such a horrible event in their life, and all these people are looking at literally one of the worst things in this world that could have happened to them did, and they're up there. But Kayley's dad really, it struck a nerve. I don't know what it was with her father But when I look to the right of me and look to the left of me, these are the people, cameramen and news crews and everything else. And I'm telling you, we were all just like, it was hard. We were holding a lot of tears back, but it wasn't just me. I almost felt like I wasn't, I wasn't strong enough, or you kind of worry about that stuff, and then you look over and you see, people that have been in the news for years tearing up. I mean, then you realize that it's not just you. You just know, but it was just it was heartbreaking. I remember at one point I just grabbed at my chest there, because it was when I found out, or we all kind of found out at the same time, that Kayley and Maddie, apparently when they stayed the night together. They were in the same bed. And I'm like, I kept wondering that, because I remember when I was talking to my mom about this. I can't remember. Maybe it was Olivia. Olivia, did I talk to you about? Did you go get water and get me one? My roommate sucks, right?
I'm gonna go get you one.
My roommate really sucks. No, I'm just joking. She wears my robe and doesn't even buy me a water. I'm just teasing her. But there was something about Kayley's father, and that was them being in the bed, and that they died together. And it took my breath away. I did not know that. That was a piece of information that I don't think any of us knew. We were pointing out this room and that room. But remember, I was talking about how it didn't appear that Kayley was supposed to be there, because according to her mom, she was at home and just coming there to visit, to show off her car. That was it. So it sounded like she must have moved out. So if she stayed the night there, it was a slumber party. She slept in the bed. I mean, they've been around each other since they were in sixth grade. It's not uncommon, even at my age, if girls need a bunk together, we bunk together. I mean, we're not like guys. We just don't, we don't worry about stuff like that. And so I could see it, but it was just one of those things, because she had a room there. Was the bed still there? I don't think so. I think she fully moved out of that apartment. We haven't confirmed that yet. But by way of her coming from her mom's house there, just to visit with her BFF, and to show her new Range Rover off, and to go out and have a good time, and then to stay the night there, you just didn't, we knew that she had lived there. So it was hard. So I'm just, that had to have been just a nightmare. I mean, something that we hear about this case. We're hearing about what happened in this case. We know that it was really brutal, but it's things that somebody can say, like Kayley's father, that just makes it real. And then you start thinking about the other stuff, the brutality of this, and who had to witness what. I mean, this was awful. It is of my belief that Ethan, and I said this before, that Ethan was probably the first. That's why Zana had the defensive wounds on her. But let's think about, they said some. They didn't say one. They didn't say two. They said some had defensive wounds. And if we know Zana had defensive wounds, and Maddie and Kayley were in the same room when this happened, it was probably one of them that was fighting. Can you just imagine? I don't even want to imagine it. Like, you watching your best friend, and it's just like, I don't know. It's just something just snapped that just really became real. And it makes you think of the terror that they went through. And I don't know. It's just hearing the families, all of them. It was just bad. Yeah, I know I have bad Wi-Fi. It should be better now. The video's done downloading. Are we doing better in because I don't see anything popping up on my screen, so I should be clear. I should be clear as a whistle. Still lagging, and that was 5 minutes ago, so we should be doing better. Let me get down here. Let me scroll down and see if we can. Sorry, guys. I got you guys on slow speed. I knew there was going to be a few people in here tonight. I'll go up there and read some more. Much better. Okay, so it's good. Okay, good. Yeah, the video's done because I wanted to make sure that you guys got to see that. We'll try to play it. You know, again, with it having this much problems downloading, I may have to wait until I get a better connection before I play it. But listen to this. So that wasn't it for the night. We didn't just go there and leave and come back here. We went there and we decided to, to stop by the Mad Greek restaurant where Kayley and Zana worked. And we decided to have dinner there tonight. And before the haters start in, I just want to tell you guys, we didn't disrupt anything. We didn't even ask a question. We enjoyed our dinner. We took in the restaurant and we looked around, I mean, I didn't even get up to use the bathroom, but I still looked around, right? What I can tell you is it was a nice restaurant. I mean, it wasn't an upscale, tie and suit type of restaurant. It was a very casual restaurant, but the food was very good that we had. I mean, I enjoyed my dinner. Did you enjoy yours?
It was the best gyro I ever had.
It was the best gyro I had ever had. It was really good. And of course, Olivia, with the sweet tooth that she has,
How to get this?
baklava. And I gave the waitress our bill was like $36, and I gave the waitress a $20 tip because, again, I didn't ask any questions, but I did want to support an establishment that is grieving. And you got to understand, her coworkers still have to work. Through all this heartache, they still have bills to pay. They still have shifts to cover. No matter how much they're hurting inside, they have to still suck it up and go to work. So, God bless them for doing that. I can tell you that the waitress we had, to be honest with you, looked like she was crying. She had been crying earlier. I have to be honest with you. Now, I don't know if she was or not, and I don't know if she was good friends with these with Zana or Kayley. I don't know, but I'd have to think that looked like a pretty small family restaurant, and I have to believe that whoever worked there knew each other. But the girl did look like she had been crying. I thought I took a picture of it. Did I not take a picture? Can I see your picture? Where's your phone?
Of the receipt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to read it.
It's this picture right here.
Yeah, thank you. So what I wrote on here is, we are truly sorry for your loss. This is a great restaurant. Thank you for a great experience. God bless you, Bullhorn Betty. I didn't ask them questions. I didn't go in there prying. Again, like I said, the waitress that we had looked like she had been crying before she came out there. And so, and there was other news outlets that were eating there. And I think they were kind of doing the same thing we were. Nobody was really asking anybody anything. We were just kind of there scoping out the restaurant, seeing what kind of establishment it was, And it wasn't until we were leaving this restaurant. We went outside of this restaurant. We opened the doors, and over to the left of the door, there's like a little bench and stuff set up there. Well, they had 4 candles set up there with each one of the victims' names on it that they had been lighting up at night. And that table, there was the table and the bench and everything were filled to the gills with flowers and other things. But there was about 4 to 5 inches of snow on top of it. So it really hit home because here's what I noticed. I noticed that there was a little bit of a memorial at the home. Just a little few flowers, something there that was under the snow when we got there. But at this restaurant, this whole outside area was filled in a beautiful memorial for them. So it made me feel like they were family to the people that they worked with. And the lady coming to our table to serve us looking like she had been crying, that all starts making sense. It all starts hitting home. But even today and yesterday, I started telling you after I got my boots on the ground here that I didn't feel like this was somebody ultra close, like a boyfriend or significant other. I said, I don't know why I feel that way. But yesterday I told you guys I didn't feel like Jake. Before I got here, I felt like, this was from what we're hearing on, sorry, we're starting to get glitchy again. It looks like it's bouncing now. I'm not sure. Sorry, guys, if you guys have a horrible connection. But what was I just saying?
I just zoned out. Sorry.
So I'm trying. The connection thing just stopped me. But I know I was talking about the restaurant. Oh, so when we were leaving the restaurant, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we were leaving the restaurant, the light bulb went off on my head, and I'm like, what if this was a coworker? Oh, I remember what I was saying. I was talking about how I was starting to get away from Jake because when I got there, like before I went there, I was thinking Jake. It had to have been like a boyfriend because, we were hearing this was this was personal. When you hear those things, you start automatically thinking a crime of passion, somebody that was either in a relationship with them or an entanglement, or somebody that was infatuated with them. And it might be still somebody that could potentially or had potentially been infatuated with them at some point. But I started getting away from Jake because when I got there, it wasn't what I was feeling. It wasn't making sense to me because of the way this person would have had to go into this house. Jake would have been undetected going right into the front door. He wouldn't have had to sneak in the back. When we talked to a neighbor, they talked about how everything was pitch black back there. So I was thinking this had to have been somebody really, really angry. And I used that. This is somebody that absolutely hated them. And I keep wondering, was this a coworker? Are we looking too close and not looking further out? Because, and not that anybody at that particular job, and I'm not even saying their coworker or anything like that, there, or it could have been a patron, right? Yeah. Person that comes in. Sorry. It's late and I'm tired. But it could have been a customer, right? A customer that went in there and wouldn't leave. It could have been a disgruntled employee that they got fired. And the reason why I started looking further out is because this is personal, but this is not. It didn't feel personal to the point that it felt like a significant other. This feels like something totally different. It just does. And I'm starting to think, what about an employee? What about a coworker? What about a customer? These people were out. If they were targeted, why? Who did they piss off enough that somebody hated them that much that they wanted to do such? This was horrific. This is like, horror movie. Horrific. And while people do a lot of things for love and we think of like OJ Simpson type stuff, it just doesn't feel that. And so anyways, we were outside of the fraternity house. And I even said, I really don't know if it's them. I don't know if it's anybody that's associated with them. We don't know. But it wasn't until tonight, and I'm sitting here like literally just, like smacking your head, right? Thinking, how did we not look further out? We were so focused on the boyfriends. We were so focused. We had broadened the net, but it wasn't until I went there that came over me. What if? In Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner, it was their coworker. It was because they had an alternative lifestyle that the coworker didn't agree with and hated them for it, and literally gunned them down. Okay, good. Thank you. Yes, if you guys are just coming in, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. But getting back to the actual memorial that was set up for the 4 slain students, it was nice. It was really, really nice. I lost internet right as they did the whole candlelight thing. I honestly believe that is when a lot of the news crews went live, sucking the bandwidth completely out. Something happened. Literally, the lights were on. It was looking beautiful. I was panning the camera around, and the internet just went out. There was no, I mean, I had 5 bars on my AT&T hotspot, 5 bars on my Verizon, and everything. Nothing would work. Nothing. Like, I literally had to go out, and I'm just like, okay, well, it's the internet. The bandwidth is sucked out of this room. And I have to tell you, it was beautiful. And so they had some singing, and they had the lights down, and those lights were down. When we had our moment of silence, I believe those lights were down because the families got to exit out of the building. They left, shortly after they all said their speech. When Kayley's and Maddie's dad spoke, my husband cried. Aw, yeah, it was hard. And that was another thing. I don't know if it was because, for the son, the mom is supposed to speak, and for the daughters, the fathers are supposed to speak, or if there was something more going on there. But I don't know. I was very thankful to hear from the father, both of the fathers for Kayley and Maddie. Love their daughters deeply. You could see and hear. I was surprised that, how upbeat in faced with Maddie's dad lost his only child. I mean, and he's talking to people, and he's being able to keep his composure on stage. I don't know how he could do that. That must have been extremely hard for him. And I know he had to have done that for his daughter, just like Kayley's father did for her, and Ethan's mother did for him. It's one of the hardest things that they're going to ever have to walk through in their entire life. And they're having to, prepare a speech and get up on stage and speak to people. And I know that they had to do that because of the wealth of support and love that's coming from this community. And I pray that they get through this, and they get some kind of feeling of safety back into this community. I think that's really what people's main concerns are: is who is this, and are they going to harm me or my children? I mean, that's got to be running through every freaking parent's mind that has a child coming here. And I'm really trying. I trust law enforcement, and if they're saying that, this is not a spree killer, this is not a thrill killer, this is not a serial killer, I'm trying to, believe that what they're telling the public is true. And so far of me being here, I have not felt unsafe, not once. And so, I haven't. We're going out tonight. We are going to walk the area at night. We're going to give you guys a different type of perspective, a nighttime perspective. I don't know what we're going to find. I don't know what we're going to see. I don't know what we're not going to see. We're going to find out together tomorrow night. What else? Obviously Xana's family, nobody came on her behalf. One, I think this is hard. And two, I think it was totally unfair that Xana's mom lost her daughter and people would splatter. I mean, I know it was concerning. I mean, I even brought it up once, but people are still, plastering Xana's mom's arrest and stuff, being busted with drugs across the internet in such a sensitive time. I mean, it wasn't her mother that did this. So what was the purpose of trying to humiliate a woman that just lost her daughter? Whether she was a good mom or not a good mom, yeah, it was news, but why continue to keep talking about it and keep spreading it? Once we realized that it had nothing to do with this case, most of us moved on, and she lost her daughter. And if she has or had a drug addiction in the past, this is something that will rock that sobriety. Now, I don't know if she was sober prior to this. I don't know, how long it doesn't matter. It had nothing to do with this case. Literally nothing to do with this case. It should not have been plastered across 50 freaking YouTube channels, dissecting it, having a conversation about, putting it in umpteen thousand community posts. This is a woman that lost her child. Literally a woman that lost her child. Did anyone else catch Kayley's dad say the two girls were in the same bed? Oh, yeah, we caught that. We caught that. And we had a conversation about that while I was still on, still in the auditorium. And I said it was a new clue we did not have. But that's when it kind of set in, and that's what kind of sparked this whole live, because that's when it set in, when it's real, because the way Kayley's dad was describing their friendship and their almost like sister type of relationship, where guys, they were almost like, they were like twins. They were like twins. Once they found each other, they never left each other's side. Like they planned their schools, they planned their, they probably pretty much would have planned their entire lives around each other, the marriages, everything. Like they would have had the babies together. They were that kind of best friends with each other. And but there was just, as Kayley's dad was explaining this relationship and love for one another that they had. And when I found out that they were both in the same bed together, I'm thinking how horrific, because damn well one of them had to see their best friend go. And I just can't imagine the terror, the pure, it became real. I'm covering this case, but it didn't really become real. But it was at that moment right there, when this case became real, when you realize the depths and the depravity and what this person took from this community and what this person took from all these families. There's nothing. There's literally nothing. Who would do that? And I'm sorry, this is somebody that absolutely hated these girls, whether it was known to other people or not. This person, I mean, this person had to be standing outside of the house. And I even talked to Olivia. How many times did he go to that house to commit this act and never follow through? We never thought about that. There may be other, videos and other digital stuff from prior to this that might help. Because I can't think that somebody that's never really killed before just goes up there first time is able to successfully do this with 4 people. I mean, this is probably somebody that is playing this either in their head or on paper. And I keep wondering, like, these things came to me after this whole vigil. How many times did he go to that house to commit this crime and chickened out? I don't know. I knew it was going to be I knew it was going to be baklava. Right, Olivia?
Oh my god, that's so.
And you know what? You're about, and then go get our. Let's have a piece of dessert.
No.
Yeah, let's rip it in half.
Okay.
Might as well have some
I'm
baklava.
gonna go get you some water.
Oh, you're a blessing. Well, I got enough. I got.
That's stale old warm.
It's good, stale old warm water.
I'm not even gonna put a robe. I'm just gonna walk out in my pajamas. Hallway.
Borrow my robe.
Okay.
Olivia kind of just sometimes just likes to give it all away for free. I'm saying. Nobody in the halls, but still. The minute she walks out without a robe on, there'll be somebody in the hall. Don't forget a key.
Yeah.
Oh, grab my card. Where's my wallet? There's my wallet. Oh, I think I put cash up there. No, grab some cash. Okay. So guys, I'm extremely tired. Let me try. I'm trying to get through some of your stuff. I can tell by your name. You're Greek. Oh, yeah. Costa Kappas. Am I saying that right? Did I say that right? I'm going to have you up here so you can make sure I pronunciate everything correctly. Oh, here we go. Sorry, guys. I'm just now getting to some of the super stuff. Betty, you have no, sorry, my eyes, and I'm on a computer too. It's bigger than my phone. Betty, you have no doubt you and Olivia handled the coverage with class as always. Thank you for all the hard work. Sorry. I feel like I'm dyslexic tonight. I am so sorry. Thank you, Wild Cherry. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Small town girl. Thank you. Thank you so much for the super chat, by the way. Love you, BHB. Us Florida girls cannot handle painful digits. No, we can't. I thought I would die in 13 inches in Detroit. Oh, girl. Today was better. I'm telling you, today was better. I didn't have the wool coat on as long as I did. It was up in the higher 30s. Yesterday, it was in the low 20s. Today, it was in the high 30s. What a difference. OMG, what a difference. When we walked out of here, it looked like a freaking blizzard. It looked like a blizzard. This Florida girl, by the way, just for the record, this Florida girl knows how to drive in snow. Okay? No wrecks. I didn't even fishtail, but there was one time coming from Boise here where my brakes froze up and I was going like, I don't know. I want to say like 5 to 7 miles an hour. And I was, I had to pump the brakes a little bit, slowed it down, but it just didn't want to stop. So I ended up having to make a right-hand turn instead of a left. So I just went up and did a little U-turn, went back. That hadn't happened again. Today was a slushy. So I'm watching people with Idaho plates like slishing and sloshing all over these roads. Bullhorn Betty did good. Now, it's supposed to come down again tomorrow, right? Or tonight, rather. It's supposed to be nasty tomorrow. So, knock on wood, right? Knock on wood that this doesn't happen, that I continue with the great driving that I did. Olivia's like, I feel safe with you driving. And I'm like, that's a first. Talk to Dolly. He has a totally a different experience. When he rides with me, we got to put a depends on him. He needs like 5 shit handles. Right? Sorry. Who is Jake? Courtney. Jake is Maddie's boyfriend. And, for the first time, we heard from somebody from Maddie's family, and it was her father. And you could tell he was nervous. This was hard for him. He let us know that this was his only child that he's ever had. Obviously, he's of an age that he's probably not going to have children in the future. She was the apple of his eye. And, but he did say that he was happy that she got to know what true love was or experience love. And he was talking about Jake. And I'm glad he did say something about him. I didn't really think at first. I really started having this strong feeling because nobody was talking from Maddie's family. Jake was dating. Why was everybody being silent? Almost too silent. And I'm glad to hear that, especially on the heels of me feeling like he wasn't involved. Again, after we went there, it's just something about that scene. It just, it's one of those things I can't explain it, and the only people that can explain it is the ones that deal with it. So, when we have gone out, so we've done several. This is not our first trip. This is not our first case. This is not the first for Olivia or myself. And I've always said, and it was from the first one, Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner and Gabby Petito. Gabby Petito at that Spread Creek where she actually died and where she was left by Brian Laundrie. We went out there. It took us a while to find her location where she was at, where she actually died at. But we did find it. And everything that we heard online, on the news, through Google Earth, whatever, it wasn't the same as it was in person. You get the clear picture, you get the vibe, you get everything. This has been true with every single case we've touched. We came in, we came here, we reviewed the case, listened to this person, listened to that person, read this, read that. And, we formulate an opinion and a theory and based on this. But then when you get here, it's like, it's crazy because when you get here and you look at it and you process it, it's your whole entire theory runs away, literally runs away. And that's what happened here. That's what happened here early on. Fresh cold water. Thank you, Olivia. Isn't Olivia the best? Isn't Olivia the best? She is the best. I think, it seemed to me. What? I'm not talking to you. I'm live. So Lex, I believe that they wanted to do something, but I think they wanted to do something that wasn't going to be really long. You got to understand that this is very painful. I'm very thankful that the families did show up, but you know what? If they didn't, I mean, how could any of us blame them? Do I know whether the siblings were there? I mean, if the siblings were there, I have to think that they, they're young too. And I don't know if I would want my adult children, young adult children being put up on a stage after they just lost their sibling. I don't know if that really, I don't know. I'm sure that they would have let them if they wanted to. But I don't know if anybody really wants to talk about this. And I can't imagine the emotional drain this is having on everybody involved. I mean, it's got to be awful. And it's not just family dying. Like, it's more, you never get over any child's death or any sibling's death, in my opinion, right? You just never really get over it. You learn to live with it. But it's different from an accident. It's even different from an overdose or a suicide than it is this type of brutal homicide. I don't know. I don't know how. I can't put it into words. I can't verbalize it. I never felt strongly about a certain suspect, honestly. I just think they came in the back on that hill you were on today. Ethan first, then Zana, the girls. I always thought they were together too. I had wondered that because, we were talking about how Kayley wasn't supposed to be there and how I said that really only 4 girls really were staying in that house. And it was the 2 surviving girls downstairs and the 2, Zana and Maddie were the only ones that were really living on the first, or the second and third floors. So, it's like Ethan and Kayley were unexpected. But is that true? Is that true? I don't know. Could Kaylee and Maddie, or excuse me, Kaylee and Zana been the target because they worked together? And like I said, could it have been a coworker? Not that I don't want to say anything about that restaurant like bad, because to be honest with you, that it was a lovely restaurant, but there was other people there. Could it have been another coworker from another place? I mean, you do have to look at all these possibilities. I don't want people to start speculating, calling their restaurant and saying awful, horrible things to them. They don't deserve that. Nobody does. They're dealing with a lot. I keep wondering if it was Ethan's sibling who was at the scene and one of the 911 callers, since the parents were informed by the twins. It's possible that they were there. I can't remember, but I think I even want to. God, that would be horrible. That literally would be horrible. Can you imagine a brother or sister have? No, I don't even want to think about that. That's just bad. That's just. I would have had to be extremely sedated. Yeah. I'm surprised that they like I said, they kept their self together. It was in Kaylee's father's darkest hours. He was still trying to, bring some humor because he didn't want people being sad. And, he had some, little jokes there, like, he didn't know what his daughter would want him to say. So he did what the young kids did and Googled it, So it was really heartfelt. And I think it really showed what a wonderful dad she had. And what a great loss. And it's sad. I'm starting to ponder the idea of two perps, considering there were two people in each bed. I'm questioning how one person could stab one of the victims and the other one not run out of the room. Great job, lady. I thought about that too. I really did. And Olivia and I were just actually having a conversation about that before I went live. Sorry, guys, it does get a little emotional for me too. So Olivia and I were, and what did we talk about? We were having that conversation, and you were like, you don't feel like it's a scrawny. What were we saying?
I was saying how well, at first I was talking about the lone wolf kind of profile.
Mm-hmm.
That's like just the classic, like the lanky, the kid that just, I don't know, like the.
Yeah, we were just talking about the type,
The type, yeah.
Yeah, we really were. We were talking about the type. Like, we're like, let's think of, how can somebody so lanky overcome people? But I'm thinking, her and I we're getting fairly graphic. I'm not going to go graphic with you guys here, but her and I were getting graphic. I mean, down, to the force and how disabling it could be, and we just bounce those types of things. I don't want to bring that stuff here, but you guys can get the big picture of what we were talking about. And I'm like, you're talking about a Rambo style knife. One plunge of that can be pretty freaking disabling, no matter where on your body. It can be pretty stinking disabling and immensely painful, disabling painful. So it's not that he had to necessarily kill them right away. He only had to injure them until they were disabled. And then he probably went, we don't know, it's potential. But one plunge of a knife like that is disabling. BHB, how are you feeling about the police in Idaho in comparison to Georgia? Are you kidding me? The police here in Idaho, a totally different feel, totally different vibe. They're working their asses off. They're exhausted. You know, I'm telling you that it's a much different, this police department's trying to keep the integrity of an investigation while giving everyone like the absolute most transparent information humanly possible, in my opinion. I have never in my life seen a police department clear so many people publicly before, ever, especially not this soon in the case. It's always the same song and dance, always the same boilerplate responses we get from county to county, state to state, across the United States. Seriously, you know, and it goes something like this. Um, all persons are suspects, are persons of interest. All theories and possibilities are being thoroughly researched, yada, yada, yada. We're not going to leave any stone unturned. That's the crap you get from law enforcement. It doesn't matter what state it's in, doesn't matter what county it's in. You get the same BS crap response from them when they don't want to answer a question. This police department's not playing those games. They've been very, in my opinion, forthcoming with persons of interest. I can tell you that the young gentleman by the name of Jeremy that did an interview that went viral, that has had his entire world torn apart, is not the subject of this case. He's not being looked at as a suspect or person of interest in this case. For anybody out there in YouTube world or on social media, leave that man alone. Leave that man alone. He gave a flippant interview with a news organization. He has nothing to do with this case. He has nothing to do with the girls getting murdered. Nothing. Move on. Find the real killer. He ain't it. And I feel bad for him because you know damn well the haters, you know damn well the more interviews he gives, the more haters are going to try to shut him up. It's just like, what is wrong with people out there? Everybody wants to scream First Amendment, but doesn't want anybody actually saying anything unless it's what they want to say. I went through it for the first year of me being on YouTube. People trying to tell me what I can and cannot do and what I can and cannot say. That man tried to help, you know? He gave a perspective and had his whole entire world torn apart because he had photos of a hunting. He lives in Idaho. What do you think they do out here? They don't have runway shows and you know, it's not New York City. That sounds like an El Paso commercial, right? It sounds like an El Paso commercial. It's not New York City. New York City. Rumor is Jack the Ripper. Yeah, I don't know. What made you think Maddie's boyfriend did it initially? Most thought it was Jack. I didn't think it was Jack, the Kayley's ex, because the parents came out very, very quickly. And I'm telling you, mama bears don't do that. Like, she's got to know 1,000% that somebody to touch her baby. Period. I'm sorry. So Jack, I never even considered, like many other people. I know that people ran with it, but you got to remember when you guys go to watch these shows, just like my show, they're monetized. You know, they got to get people to go over there and watch them so they can, you know, do their thing, and that's okay. But they have to have subject matter that's interesting to folks. I never looked at Jack D, because Jack D, in my mind, was at the very bottom of the list for several factors. You know, mom and dad came out very early on and said there is no possibility, absolutely no way. But that didn't actually seal the fate for me. It's when law enforcement came out and said, look, he's been cleared. They said that very early on in this case. Very early on in this case. What made me think it was Maddie's boyfriend is because her family never came out like that for Jake. Nobody's even talking, like even law enforcement very rarely even says anything related to anyone connected to Maddie. And so I was thinking that, you know, the silence was deafening when it came to Maddie. And why would they be keeping that silent? Was that a clue? And I started, speculating, and that's what I said, that I thought it was him because nobody's heard from him. We started hearing that a pickup truck was sold shortly after, or shortly around the time of these murders. I couldn't get a definite answer of when it was listed or when it was sold, but it was in and around the time that this massacre happened. And so, that kind of, those are some red flags. And the fact that he hasn't come out and spoken, that her family didn't come out and speak, and that we were hearing that this was a targeted, personal, and possibly a crime of passion, it's kind of hard for it to be a crime of passion when Ethan and Zana have been together. So he didn't kill them. So, I mean, he's a victim. So naturally you're looking at, significant others, who could get this angry enough to do something like this. And usually it has to do with a broken heart. Let's face it, a broken heart, jealousy, anything that can make somebody rage, just totally rage. This to me, seeing blood go dripping down the side. Excuse me. Let me be correct in my description. Lord have mercy. I don't want the haters getting a hold of me making a mistake. So a red-like substance that appears to be blood coming down the side of the home. That's a lot of blood. So it's just, this was sloppy. It just seemed like somebody was just raging. And what would make somebody rage like that? And you've got to look at those possibilities. If you've ever gotten so stinking mad that you were ready to snap somebody's freaking neck, those theories need to be explored. Those theories need to be explored because it just seems like somebody was raging. How did the people downstairs not hear? This is another thing. That poor guy across the street that's getting totally crucified for doing an interview with a media organization, because there's asshats out here on social media that has nothing better to do than act like they think they know what they're talking about. It's great. It's good stuff. But at the end of the day, they're they're going down the wrong avenues. And if they would do just an ounce of research, an ounce of deductive reasoning, they would realize they're wasting their time. But they like wasting their time, kind of like, the people, my haters, right? They spend all this time and energy on me trying to call police departments, trying to do this. When have they ever once disrupted anything I was doing? Seriously, when have they ever really disrupted anything that I was doing? They sent crackheads out to a 20-month-old, which I thought was despicable and classless, just like they are. And then a clown that just showcases themselves, right? But they didn't really stop anything I was doing. They didn't disrupt anything I was doing. They disrupted Dolly, right? I kept going. And then I went there and fought for Dolly and got his ass out of jail. With a whole bunch of people right behind me. Shouldn't say behind me because we were rolling deep. I don't even know how big. I don't know how big wide we were or how long we were, but I know we were pissed off. That's what I know. At least I was, and I know there was a lot of people pissed off with me because every time I looked, I was around a bunch of people, and they looked pretty pissed off. Humans, let's see what Lex. I always like listening to some of the stuff Lex has to say. Humans are all one and the same. We should not, under any circumstance, be unaliving one another. For whatever reason, this person uses an excuse. There is such cruel, evil, cold, heartless, sick people. I agree with you, and we deal with it every single day. This true crime community, you guys get to see the faces of evil on a daily basis. Every time you come here and we talk about these cases and we put up the perps, including moms and dads that do despicable things to their children. It is a sad, cruel, sick world. But you know what? Most of it, I find, has always been drug and alcohol induced. In this particular case, I don't think that's it. I really don't. I think this is somebody that probably needs some medication and has probably been unmedicated for quite some time. Probably is in denial and probably has never even acknowledged that there's something wrong with him. But somebody's family knows that they've got a sick pup that they're living with, and they're not even picking up the phone to call law enforcement. So if you're living with that sick pup, maybe you need to pick up the phone and do an anonymous call. Just saying. I'm a little behind in chat. I apologize. I see there's a super chat. Okay, I'll keep wondering about the guy on the bike wielding the knife. Oh, glad you brought that up. This is a perfect segue in. Hold on a second, guys. Let me get my. I'm not sharing my screen. I have to do that funny little window thing, but I got an update for you guys. Let me pull you up. We'll actually talk about it now. All right, you guys should be seeing this. I got it right here. Okay, so I'm glad you said that because I wanted to make sure that we went over this. So this is clarification at 7:15 p.m. So conflicting information has been released over the past 24 hours. The Latah County Prosecutor's Office, it just popped down on me. Where was it? The Latah County Prosecutor's Office. Where did I go? It literally just popped up on me, and I don't know where I just started from. So we'll start it all over again. Conflicting information. There it is. Latah County Prosecutor's Office stated the suspect specifically looked at this residence and that one or more of the occupants were undoubtedly targeted. That's what the prosecutor's office apparently made a statement, I believe, in a news interview. We have spoken with the Latah County Prosecutor's Office and identified this was a miscommunication. Detectives do not currently know if the residents or any occupants were specifically targeted, but continue to investigate. Updated information. There have been media questions about the September 12th, 2022 incident regarding an argument between a group of people walking on the University of Idaho bike path and a cyclist. It was reported that during this confrontation, the cyclist displayed a folding knife. And they specifically say folding knife because what have we been hearing this entire time for this case? A fixed blade knife. But they say a folding knife. Both parties dispersed and there was no injuries. The cyclist turned himself into police. The case was investigated and misdemeanor charges were referred to the Moscow attorney's office. There is no connection with the individual involved in this incident and the current murder investigation. I don't know how clear that could be. And I'm not saying that in a snooty or anything. I'm just saying that is a pretty damn clear statement from law enforcement right there. Let me repeat this again. There is no connection with the individual involved in this incident and the current murder investigation. None. Regarding the interview with Latah County Prosecutor Bill Thompson, we feel his response were messaged to support the implications that new information had been released, specifically generalized statements regarding the potential of targeted victims and the involvement of drugs were redefined into affirmative answer. At this time, there is no change or new information in this case, and references otherwise would be inaccurate. We ask the public to refer to the Moscow Police Department website for any updates on the investigation. They further state, at this time, there is no change or new information in this case, and references otherwise would be inaccurate. We asked, I already read that. So, and then it goes through the regular stuff. There's no suspects that have been identified, and only vetted information that does not hinder the investigation will be released to the public. So there is the statement right there from the new update, Latah County, or excuse me, Oh, I think it's time for me to shut this down. I am entirely too tired. I'm entirely too tired. Moscow police, Lord have mercy. Anyways, let me get through here. ZZC says, I'm late. I'm very late here. It's 12:49. Well, ZZT, get your butt to bed. Entirely too late for you. And right now, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm exhausted. And I have been up since literally 4 a.m. this morning. Sorry, Bullhorn Betty. It's a real hot mess here in Savannah. Has been for a minute. You might have sparked a little fire that definitely needs to be addressed. Oh boy, what is that? I haven't even. I'm planning on going back there, but I haven't seen anything yet. Send me an email, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Ellie here in Georgia is a bunch of good old boys, Yahoo, and I say that respectfully. I've had many Ellie as a friend, better some Ellies than none at all. I'm just being honest. Well, thank you. Thank you, McPoppins. Oh, here we go. What's this? I'm worried Ethan's brother or both siblings were called there that morning. I saw several things saying dark SUV behind Ethan was the brothers. His parents said they heard about it from their kids. And yeah, I heard that statement that they heard from their kids, but I'm really hoping, I pray to God that his brother and sister didn't have to witness that. If they had to witness that, OMG, that would have been hard. Like, I mean, I don't know if I could wish what happened to them literally on my worst enemy. I don't think I could ever do that. Let alone see it. I don't think I'd ever want to see it. You know, there's some sick puppies out there. I don't know. I never even seen the Jeremy interview. I cleaned up dozens of channels months ago. I refused to even get the roaches a side glance. Oh yeah, I know that ain't that the truth. It's gotten so bad here. But getting back to that, I mean, think about how much time they put into me. I mean, they've done literally nothing, absolutely nothing. All that work, all that chaos, like who, and they like doing that. They like all that chaos and drama and fighting with people. They ain't getting that from me. I got to respect somebody to give them my time, and they ain't got my time. I don't even I literally don't even my mods, they can tell you. They know they don't even come in there and talk about the shit anymore. You know, they chat about it between themselves, this, that, and the other. But I can't remember the last time they've even said, "Oh, did you hear what so?" Because I tell them the same thing. I don't care. Let them say whatever. When they piss me off enough, they'll know. So, rumor is the brother was called over there before 911. Oh my God, that would have been hard. No, because of the defensive wounds, that tells me that there was at least a couple. They said some had defensive wounds. That means some of them woke up. Some of them had to have woke up. Trust me, you can't do two at one time. Somebody heard something, and it's sad because Zana watched, either Ethan watched Zana go or Zana watched Ethan go. Either Kayley watched Maddie go or Maddie watched her go. I mean, it's just that brutally honest. That would make anybody scared. And I don't care if it's a split second scared or an hour scared. It's still terror the last minute of your life, the last second of your life, the last millisecond of your life. Just pure terror. Oh, that's right. Yes, and I forgot to say, big shout out to our Turtle King, to our friend Dolly Vision. Lolo has made it home. I heard it. Lolo is officially home. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. So big shout out to Dolly. We're thankful that Lolo's home, and hope to hear from him soon. Hope to see Lolo soon. So hopefully tonight when he goes live, if he goes live, maybe he'll put her up. Let everybody say, hi, Lolo. We love you, Lolo. We fought hard to free you, Lolo. We love Lolo. Lolo just doesn't love us. Lolo doesn't even like anybody. If it's not Dolly. Oh. Even his daughter goes over to give Dolly a hug. Lola's like, get away from my daddy. He ain't your daddy no more. He's my daddy. That's what she says. Let's see. My theory, maybe the roommate saw Ethan and maybe didn't see wounds or blood, or maybe by the way he was laying, say he was on the floor. Maybe they thought he was passed out, called his brother. I have no idea. I have no idea. And I keep going back, even if it wasn't Sigma Chi, could it have been somebody from another fraternity? And there was also another little tidbit of information that you guys need to know. And that is, there's another huge university within a 15 to 18-minute drive from the University of Idaho. Washington State University is not that far away. So even if it's not a college kid from that school, doesn't mean it's not a college kid from Washington State University. They're literally, if you look it up, they're literally like 16 to 18 minutes apart from each other. I have never known of two major universities being that close in proximity together, but it really is. Did you ever go to college? Of course I did. I never went to a university, but I went to a private college. I wish I would have went to a university. I'm telling you, those private colleges are an arm and a leg. 700 more likes for Bullhorn Betty. Be Betty fan. There's 1,200 people in the chat room tonight. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget. Just a second. Let me make sure that we're still good here. Nope, we're not still good. It sucks. It's too cold there. Come back to Savannah. I know, right? I can't wait. Ooh, my light bulbs fell. I can't wait to come back. Good night. God bless. Bye, Blue Velvet. And yeah, we're going to be out tomorrow. I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. Well, I kind of do. But there was a huge football game that night. Thousands of people went to the game. Interesting. Another perspective. I think they're six miles from each other. Yeah, it's something close. It's something close. But, if we're thinking a college kid, we're hearing, some theories coming out from profilers and things like that saying they believe this is a younger individual. Maybe it's not even from the university. Maybe, what if it was a rivalry thing? I mean, you're talking about somebody pretty freaking angry. I don't think that this was somebody that just said, "Hey, I'm gonna do this house." I mean, there were so many other houses that were around that would have been easier targets, easier to get into, further away from a lot of people. I mean, there was a lot of things just right there, but it was busy. There's no doubt it was busy. Will you be going to the memorial on Friday? Memorial. They're going to have another memorial on Friday. They're going to do something else besides what they did there. If so, yeah, we'll be there. I'll have to find out. That's why you hear the word college, the term college town. Oh. How is there no bloody trails though? We don't know that there aren't. We don't know that there aren't. We can't see in that house. We haven't seen any pictures from in the house. I can tell you by the blood dripping out of that house, it had to have been pretty stinking gruesome. It had to have been probably one of the worst scenes that any detective will ever have to see in his lifetime. His or her lifetime. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, we'll be there if we can get the information. I think they did say it at the I'm just so tired. I just can't remember. But anyways, guys, it's 10:15 here. We have a long day. I'm probably going to be back up at 4:30 in the morning, so I need to hit the hay. I love each and every one of you. I want to tell you guys thank you for your love and support. Trust me, it doesn't go unnoticed. We would not be able to be here and run this stuff live without each and every one of you guys. We really wouldn't. And I'm just very thankful that I have you guys. I'm very blessed. And, you know, this is a sad case, and it's very hard. I know, despite what you hear, you know, haters are going to hate, but this is emotional for me. This is emotional for Olivia. You know, this is hard, you know, to cover some of these cases and to, you know, learn details of cases. It's pretty intense. And the conversations that we have to have with each other, or other collaborators or other professionals about different personality types and different things that happen, those things you guys don't have to hear. Those things we have to look at, see, watch. It sucks. It really sucks. But this stuff does hit us. It hits us hard. This is no different. Olivia's been kind of without energy. She feels like she's jet lagged, and I think it's from this case, because this has really been very emotional for her. And God bless her for being out here. God bless her for following this case. But you know, we're just doing what we can to bring the information to you guys. There's not a whole lot we can do, but try to bring a little comfort to the community. You know, a little safety, you know, telling them that it's safe, showing them that law enforcement's got their back, that, you know, come back to school and, you know, continue your higher education and things of that nature. That's really the only help that we can provide this community. Do I feel safe? I do. I trust that law enforcement is keeping this community safe. I can guarantee, well, at least 95% guarantee. I'm not giving 100% on this, but, you know, 95% I can guarantee that this is not going to happen in this community before they lock this person up. Okay, I'll give it a 95%. But anyways, guys, I need to get my shower and I need to hit the hay. So I love each and every one of you. God bless you. And I got the shirts, no justice, no peace. That's what I wore today. And it has me. I can't do it. The mirroring sucks on this thing. I never get my hands right. But either way, it's the shirts that Sonia made for us and sent to us for Quentin Simon. If you guys like this shirt and you guys want your own, it's one that we wear just for about any case that we go on. No justice, no peace. And we're out here and we're just giving you guys new perspectives so you guys can make your theories and opinions yourself. So anyways, guys, I'm very exhausted. Thanks for hanging out with me for over an hour today. Actually, you guys hung out with me several times throughout the day. So thank you for that. And God bless each and every one of you. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you sometime tomorrow. Peace.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.